and welcome to this mellow morning flow. So whether you just woke up or you're in the process of waking up, you're in the right place. If you have yoga blocks, you can place one between the shoulder blades and another at the back of the head, or rest the head on the floor, your choice. No blocks, no problem. You could take your yoga mat and roll it up like a sleeping bag, placing it along the length of your back. It's worth it. So it would support the back of your head and the back of the spine as much as possible. The actual buttocks rest on the floor, so it's a relaxed posture, a relaxed back bend. And there's also the option to simply lay on the ground. That little bit of lift behind the heart can be really nice, though. And with the knees out to the sides, relax your legs, relax the whole body. And take this time to connect in with deep, slow breath. If you find it difficult to relax the inner legs, you may slide the feet further forward or closer into the pelvis. You can try both ways. And then on an inhale, reach the arms straight up to the sky, joining the hands up to the sky though. And then as you exhale, slowly go out to the sides, resisting gravity, engaging between the shoulder blades as the chest opens. Again, inhale, reaching straight up to the sky. Repeat that at your own pace. Resisting gravity on the exhale. And the more the heart is lifted, the more there is to resist gravity. This is a really great exercise for opening the chest and engaging some of the muscles between the shoulder blades. So this gets the middle trapezius really well. And as you're reaching up, the shoulder blades can gradually spread apart. And a few more to go. Next time the arms go out to the sides, pause, hovering just barely above ground. So minimal amount of effort to lift the arms away from the ground. Open the chest up and then try to draw the breath from the belly to the chest. On an inhale, reach the arms straight up again. And exhale, pause there. Taking the hands apart, reach overhead now, so reaching towards the back of the mat, long inhale. As you exhale, explore bending the elbows out to the sides like cactus branches or a W shape. And on the inhale, reach straight back again, overhead range of motion. And then continue exploring that, keeping the head and neck relaxed, jaw soft. If you're on the blocks, you may feel a really nice opening through the chest. Hovering the elbows as close to the floor as you can comfortably. Any pain in the shoulder, that's a sign you could benefit from lifting the elbow away from the floor to help recruit the serratus anterior, the shoulder blade spreading muscle. Otherwise, really close to the floor. And then pause at a sweet spot, elbows bent or straight, your choice, and just breathe. Enjoy. bringing the knees together, keep the feet resting on the floor, knees bent. And make your way off the blocks, supporting the head with one hand. Use your core to come up. And then lay on your back again, hugging the knees into the chest. Squeeze the legs in and gently rock side to side. And then hug your right knee towards your shoulder. Give it a good squeeze. Straighten the left leg onto the mat. Oh, Sophia's going for the supported bridge one. So if you have a block handy, you can place the block underneath your sacrum, top of the buttock region, creating a little lift to the hips. The left heel roots down and the leg tries to straighten, inviting a stretch into the front of the left hip, releasing the psoas. This can also work really well simply laying on your back. And then go ahead and switch legs, drawing the left knee in. And then try straightening the right leg onto the mat. And then we'll lay down onto the back. So you can bend both knees, remove the yoga block, come into windshield wipers, bringing the arms out to the sides, feet a little bit wider than the hips, and exhale, knees to the right. Inhaling, come across the center. Exhale, knees to the left. Continue exploring with your breath. And then taking hold of the yoga strap, bring the right leg up to the sky. You could loop a towel, a shirt, or whatever you have around the house around your right foot. Try to get the right leg straight, so you may have to bend your left knee to find that. And we'll hang out, just stretching into the back of the leg, the hamstring, the calf, feel it out. Contracting the quadriceps at the front of the thigh helps us lengthen the back of the leg. So the sensation of the stretch is like a dull, thick stretch across a large surface area, instead of something that's like sharp and pointed around the joints like the sitting bone or the knee. Holding the strap with the right hand. With an exhale, bring your leg over to the right. Try to keep your left leg still. And then inhale back to center. And then continue exploring. So this could be a very linear movement, or you can make it more circular, giving it a bit of slack to come across the center halfway, a little bit over to the left, and then pull back to the right again. And just notice what there is to notice. If there's a certain area you want to explore, go for it. Be creative. Listen to your body. It's generally good to explore the stretch pretty slowly, but if you know your range of motion really well, feel free to go a little faster. Next time we open to the right, we'll hold the pose for a bit. About 5 slow breaths. Come back to engaging the quadriceps of that right leg to help keep it straight. And the goal is not to get the foot to the floor. It's more to keep the pelvis level. So keep your left buttock rooted. That gives you a good sense of how much movement is actually coming from the hip joint. But it's not wrong for the left buttock to come up. It's just deceptive, that's all. With an inhale, come back to center. Take the strap with the other hand, and then move your pelvis towards the right side of the mat. And as you exhale, bring that leg all the way over to the other side. Spinal twist. You can play with engaging the glutes a little bit to help turn your right hip out. There is the option to use the right hand, pressing the thigh bone away from the belly as well. Inviting a stretch into the outside of the hip. A few more breaths. On your next inhalation, come back to the center. And then switching legs, bring the left leg up, center the pelvis on the mat. And we'll start in the center, just stretching the back of that leg. You can flex toes to shin to get even more into the calf. If you find it's easy to straighten the left leg, you might also straighten the right leg. And breathe. Slowing your breath. Keep a gentle pull on the strap. And then take the strap with the left hand. On your next exhale, open the leg to the left, giving it slack. Inhale back to center. And continue like that, or make some big circular movements, pulling back gently to the left, and then give it some slack as you come across the center, halfway over to the right. Big circles. Just look out for that belt buckle. A few more to go, and try to keep the leg straight. Left leg straight, that is. And then next time the leg comes out to the left, we'll hold the posture a little bit longer than 5 breaths. And try to keep the right buttock rooted, counterbalancing, keeping the pelvis level. So the movement's coming from the left hip joint. On a long inhalation, come back to the center, take the strap with the other hand, and then move the pelvis to the left and bring your leg over to the right side, spinal twist. Keeping the leg straight, allow a subtle outward rotation in the left hip by engaging the glutes a little bit. And that can help to dissolve some of the tightness that creeps up in that left hip flexor. Another way to work it is hiking up the right hip, which causes the left side of the pelvis to drop, counterbalancing. A few more deep breaths. Slowly come back to center, bringing the leg up. And then set the strap aside. Bend your knees for windshield wipers again. Let's go side to side dynamically a few times. You can go fast or slow. Just feel it out. Just get your hips moving. And then place the feet on the floor hip width just in front of the sitting bones. Hands next to the hips. Bridge vinyasa. On a long inhalation, slowly lift the arms, expand the rib cage, reaching back. Long exhale, lift the hips up to bridge. Inhaling, slowly bring the arms down. Exhaling, lower through the vertebra. And repeat. Long inhale to reach back. Try briefly holding the breath at the end of the movement. Long exhale to lift the hips, contracting the abdomen to empty. Inhale to lower the arms. Exhaling, slowly lower through the vertebra. And once more. Inhale, lift the arms, reach back. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhaling, lower the arms and pause. You can either hold onto the edges of the mat or interlace the fingers behind the back. Wiggle the upper arm bones closer and breathe. Squeezing shoulder blades, puffing up the chest. Activate the hamstrings by pressing the heels towards your shoulders. And activate the glutes to lift the hips high. One more breath. And then releasing the interlace, exhale to come down. Hug your knees into your shoulders, crossing the ankles, and then rock up to a seated position. So you can turn towards the front of the mat, taking the hands about shoulder width apart, moving into a table position. So knees below hips, make some circles with the shoulders, lowering the heart, shoulder blades closer, and then push through the hands, spreading the shoulder blades. Continue exploring. Shoulders can go up and back, big circular movements. And then bring the big toes to touch. With an inhale, open the right arm out to the side, reach up for the sky. Exhale, thread the needle, bending your left arm as you reach through. And repeat that a few more times, moving with your breath. And then threading the needle, pause for a few breaths, reaching the arm out to the left. Your top arm can walk further forward. So you might even take that right hand so far forward that you can go onto the tips of the fingers, lifting the palm. And breathe. Maybe there's a nice stretch in the right armpit. You might also feel a stretch around the left shoulder blade as the arm reaches out. And then walking the hand back. With an inhale, reach the right arm up to the sky. And make some big circles back by the hip, towards the floor, and forwards by the ear. Kind of like playing a guitar. And then take the hand to the floor and we'll switch. Left arm out to the side on the inhalation, opening up. And thread the needle on the exhale. Again, inhale, lifting left arm. And exhale, threading through, continuing at your own pace. And then threading through, we'll pause there. Spreading that left shoulder blade out. You can walk your right hand further forward as an option. And breathe. And then slowly walking the hand back. Inhale to come up again, lifting the left arm. Turn the chest open and make some big circles with that shoulder. Reaching towards the floor and then forward by the ear. Open up to the sky, reaching back by the hip. And then return that left hand down. From table position, bring both of your feet off to the left side and reach your right arm up to the sky. Straighten the right leg. This is a variation of side plank with the left knee on the floor. So you can use that left foot as a kickstand, taking that foot off to the left side, top arm reaching up. Open your chest as much as you're able to. Retracting the shoulder blades. And then come back to table, switching sides. From table, take the feet off to the right side. And then straightening the top leg, lift the top arm, opening up as much as you're comfortable. And then come back to table, and we'll press back to downward facing dog. And you can walk the dog out, bending one leg, straightening the other. Stretching into the calves, hamstrings. With an inhale, lift your right leg up, bend the knee. Make a few circles in the right hip, engaging the buttocks together. And then with an exhale, step outside of your right hand, low lunge. So you're welcome to use yoga blocks under your hands or touch the floor. As you inhale, explore bending the front knee like a lunge. And as you exhale, sit towards your back heel, straightening the front leg. And repeat that a few times. Moving the stretch from the right hamstring to the front of the left hip as you lunge. And then find that lunging position. Bring your hands to the front of your right thigh. You can stay there, lifting the pubic bone. Option 2, lift the left arm by the ear, bend the elbow, and then use your other hand to push back on the upper arm bone, inviting a stretch through the armpit and a side bend, leaning over to the right. And then feel free to explore a little bit how much the front knee is bent. Look for a stretch in the front of your left hip. Pressing that left hip forward with buttock power. And we'll return to half split, so you can either sit back towards your heel, or you can move into like a hero's pose if you prefer. Take an inhale to lift the heart, and then exhale, try to straighten your right leg. If that's feeling pretty good, you might explore then bowing forward, or you might keep the heart lifted if you're a little bit tighter in the hamstrings. Lifting the heart first will help you approach the straight leg more comfortably to get the hamstring length. Just know that if you do bend the front knee, that's also fine. That just makes it a little bit easier on the spine. And then bend the front knee again. Turn your right foot out about 45 degrees, and you can press your hand against the inner thigh gently, resisting it in both directions, or you can reach for your back foot. We'll take 5 more breaths. This is a spinal twist, so turn your right chest open, retracting the scapula. And then we'll let go and step back to downward dog. And take a few breaths. You can wiggle the hips out, walk it out, hit the reset button. And then we'll repeat that sequence on the left leg. So with an inhale, lift the left leg and bend the knee, circling the hip. Exploring the range of motion around that left hip while using the glutes, the buttocks. And with an exhale, we'll step outside of the left hand, lowering the right knee. Find your lunging position, sliding the right knee back a bit. And as you exhale, lean back to straighten the front leg. Inhaling, bend the front knee, lift the heart. Exhale, straighten the leg, and then bow over it. And a few more, moving with your breath. We'll meet in the lunging position. You can bring your hands to the front of that left thigh and push into your hands, engaging the core. Lift the pubic bone, drop the tail. Option 2, right arm up on the inhale, and then use your free hand to push back on the upper arm bone. So you might feel more of a stretch through the right shoulder or armpit, getting into your lat. You can add to that by side bending, leaning over to the left with your torso. All the while scissoring the legs, pressing the right hip forward and drawing the left heel back. And then releasing the pose, half split, so you can lean back, try to straighten your front leg, take a breath in to lift the heart, and then exhale, you might fold or keep the heart lifted, about 5 breaths. Lengthening the hamstring, with the option of also lengthening the spine, rounding the back. The hamstrings are tight, and it is advisable to keep the back straight when you're trying to get your legs straight. And then bending the front knee, turn the left foot out 45 degrees. You can wiggle it off to the left a little. And then as you twist to the left, press your hand against the inner thigh, the inner left thigh. This is a good place to stay. If it's available, feel free to catch the back foot. Reaching for the outside of the foot, thumbs up. You can either pull the heel in towards you, or you can kick the foot away from you to help open the chest. A slightly different emphasis. A few more slow, deep breaths. And then releasing the posture, walk your legs back to downward dog. Notice any changes. Maybe it feels more open or easier. And we'll slowly bring the knees to the floor. Heart opening posture. So you could use yoga blocks underneath your upper arm bones. And this came by special request this morning from none other than Sophia herself. It can be done without blocks. It's true. It is known. So the pelvis is just over the knees, and then you can bring the elbows to the floor or use yoga blocks like Sophia is showing. Maybe you wiggle the knees further back. And at first you can try relaxing the abdomen, letting the heart melt. Once the heart drops a little bit, try exhaling to connect with the core, slightly rounding the low back in the other direction. It doesn't matter what it looks like, it's more about the feeling of it. So you're just invited to play with these 2 different spinal positions and see where you feel the benefit. We can allow the shoulder blades to spread out. We can also allow them to elevate towards the ears, gently rooting down through the upper arm bones. If you have your elbows on the floor, there is also the option to straighten the arms, walking the hands forward like a puppy stretch. And what's great about that variation is you can go onto your fingertips to lift the palms away from the ground with your arms straight, inviting the fullest range of motion possible into your shoulder in this very gentle weight-bearing situation. And you're welcome to stay here all morning. If you're ready to come out, you can reach the hands forward, lift the head, inch the knees forward, and slowly come off one hand at a time. And then we'll meet in a comfortable sitting position. Just bringing one leg in front of the other, simple cross legs. And just take a moment to close the eyes and connect in with your breath. Noticing the slow, natural flow. Follow your exhale all the way out. And we'll place the right thumb on the right nostril, little finger and ring finger on the left nostril. Breathe in slowly through your left nostril to the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fill up to the heart as much as you can. And then switching nostrils, exhale right side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right side inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big fill. Switching sides, left side exhale. And then both nostrils barely open. Inhale through both, barely open. Use your fingers to control the flow. Fill up to the top, holding the breath, and then bring your hands down to your lap. Take a slow Ujjayi exhale. And then closing the eyes, take a few more slow Ujjayi breath there. And thank you very much for practicing with us, everybody. This is Mike and Sophia signing off. Hope this treated you well. We're going to go do our breakfast chant. Om Nom 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 Nom. Thanks so much. Peace. Spread love.
Not COVID.
Spread love, not COVID. Kiss an animal. Kiss a pet. Thank you. Love you all. Where are you going, Soph?
I'm going to roll.
Oh, she's going on the wheel, everybody. So this is a great investment. If you have a big exercise ball, those work too. This is bonus material. You can roll the spine. It's super nice. Like, you can do no wrong on this thing. You can go anywhere from the back of the head all the way up towards the sacrum. It's just like an amazing massage and a supported back bend. So for some people, it's too much to get into this right away, so I would just do a private class with them and hold their head. So if you have a family member or a friend around, they can support your head as you develop it. Actually quite a sweet and endearing process. It's very tender.
Have you ever had your head held by someone you love?
Yeah. I can't wait to go see my hairdresser again. Adrian, he holds my head so sweetly as he shampoos it and gives this really great neck massage. If you're in Ottawa, I'll hook you up with his contact once things open up again. It's worth it just for the head massage. All right, I'm going to cancel class now. I'll close this thing down. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining. Hope you had fun.